What's something you've done that has probably put you on some list? Way back in the 1990s, you couldn't join the military in the USA if you were gay and out. And I kept getting recruiters calling me over and over again, as many high school students do. Eventually I got annoyed enough to just ask, well, what if I'm gay? You're a homo? Yes. /click/. And I never got called again. I used to tell people I am in the government's database somewhere.
In high school, there was a kid who went to the vice principal's office and told them he was being bullied by a lot of people at the school. So they had him write down a list of everyone and what they were doing, and based on the list the administration kind of realized this guy needed help. I think I was on the list because I typed too loudly on my calculator during math class, if I remember correctly. This was all kept very quiet and low-key. We didn't even know about it, except every once in a while this kid would just quietly get up and leave class. When he was feeling overwhelmed, he went to go see the school therapist. Well, long story short, I guess in one of these therapy sessions, it came out that one of the ways he coped was just that he imagined beating the beep out of these other kids on the list. Upon hearing this, the school decided it was best to send the guy to a 72-hour psych hold. Honestly, they should have just left it at that, kept it low-key, and got the guy the help he needed. Except, the school administration decided that what came out during therapy constituted as a threat to all of us. They pulled us all, like 40 of us, out of class one day, had us sit in an enclosed room with no windows under guard without telling us anything. We thought we were all in trouble. Then called us each individually into the VP's office and didn't tell us what was going on until they called our parents in front of us, told our parents we were on a hit list from some student on campus, and then refused to offer any other information, because the kid was a minor and it was an ongoing investigation, and then sent us back to class. Of course, one student's mother called the local newspaper and word got out that there was a student with a kill list at our high school. We didn't find out the actual details for about 2 weeks, but kept repeatedly being called out of class to meet with school administration and therapists to see if we were okay. All we wanted was information that they couldn't give us. Of course we all found out who the guy was. His life was ruined. I see him every once in a while at the local gas station and I always wonder what's going through his head. I hope he knows nobody hates him, there's not even anger toward him. We all feel bad for him. There was definitely a way to handle the situation well, and our school did basically the opposite, ruined a 17-year-old kid's life.
When TurboTax was exciting and new to me, I used it to do my taxes, as was the custom of the time, and one of the questions it asked was, "What is your occupation?" So obviously I put in, assassin temporarily so I could see if my girlfriend thought it was funny. She was wrong, by the way. She didn't, and I was so firm in my disagreement with her obviously wrong interpretation that I neglected to change it back. So in 1998 or 1999, I'm on record with the IRS somewhere as being an assassin. I paid my taxes though, so they seem to be generally okay with me, but I wonder sometimes if that put me on a list somewhere.
I worked at a restaurant as an undergrad, and the owners were doing a legal beep, scam marriages for citizenship. Shortly after I quit, Immigration's Homeland Security contacted me to let me know some of the people and the owners I worked with were in jail and facing trial, and that I was also investigated during the process, but I was in the clear. I had the most routine life at the time I was investigated. Drag my ass to school, get coffee, bus to work, walk home, study, repeat. Ever since then, all state and federal background and fingerprinting checks take extra long, sometimes months. I also had a 6-hour interview when I applied for my enhanced driver's license.
Way back in the day I was in a sport bike club and we would do, stuff quickly on public roads. So one night, 1 to 6 a.m., we hook up with some exotic car guys and spend the night racing. They had a few guys filming the races, it was a lot of fun. Fast forward a year or so and my brother goes to the police academy and he's in the high pursuit, driving portion of the course. They show a video of these dangerous street racing jackasses here in the state that the instructor informs the class that they are still investigating, and the race between me and another bike pops up on the projector. Brother knew exactly who the green bike hauling ass belonged to, so I guess I was on a list for a while.
A guy put me in his reasons to suicide list because I was too annoying at the time.
Answered some questions on Reddit.
When I was a teenager, like maybe 15, I tried looking for underage porn because I wanted stuff of girls my age. This was early 2000s, so tracking software was not as good, and definitely know as an adult how sketchy that was. I want to be damn clear that it was over 10 years ago when I was a 15 to 16 years / looking for images of other 15/16ths of a year / was not looking for creepy young, and certainly lost all interest in minors once I got to college. Edit, kind of uneasy with how upvoted this got, and therefore how many people saw this. Also, never actually found any, so I'm not sure if I technically did it anything illegal, or if just the attempt was all it takes. Also, this was before the days of teenagers having their own computer or smartphone. It was just the household desktop we had, so any list would have registered my parents. Oops. Edit 2, I'm well aware me being underage at the time doesn't change the legality, it's just to hopefully get some ethical forgiveness. This is a post about what gets you on a list after all. Skeptical.
I was head counselor at a leadership camp in Washington, D.C. Part of my job was ensuring that kids, age 14 to 17, arriving at the airport could find us easily. Parents were told not to send their child as an unaccompanied minor, but many didn't listen. So I had to personally sign for over 40 unaccompanied minors in a single day.
My English teacher in high school was very anti-nuclear proliferation. She was also a charming, persuasive person. Talked a whole bunch of us into piling into her van and going to Crystal River Nuclear Power Plant with signs. She taught us a few chants such as "Hey, oh hell no, nukes got to go." And away we went. Parked just outside the fence and walked in a circle for about 30 minutes in the hot July Florida sun. Y'all know security was just waiting for us. So, we get detained by security. Then arrested and crammed into a cell. No air conditioning, no water. Eventually the cops let us call our parents. I called my dad at work because I thought he'd go easier than my mom. Nope. In theory, I was grounded until I went away to college. Go forward about 12 years. I applied for a job with the state government as a clerical assistant. My second interview, a very stern man in a black suit sits down with a file folder that had to have been an inch thick. Says, "Tell me about Crystal River." He knew things about me that I didn't even know. After a couple of more interviews and a polygraph, I got the job. But damn. Thanks, Mrs. K. I hope you're in heaven protesting something. But I ain't following you anymore.
I recently wired an amount of money in excess of $10,000. That puts you on a list. Any transaction with cash in excess of $10,000 puts you on a list. It's an anti-money laundering mechanism. I mean, sure, they'll also find a mortgage I took out effective the next day, and they'll see that, oh hey, the wire transaction was approximately 20% of the value of the mortgage, and the wire went to the title company associated with the mortgage. But still, large value wire transfers are a known AML red flag.
Banned from r/best of by saying this wasn't a best of post. Permanent ban.
Said something negative about our glorious Chinese overlords online.
About 10 years ago I was writing an essay on the Mussolini government for uni, and I made a lot of references to the diary of his foreign minister. I had a copy in English, but the night before it was due I realized I needed my references in Italian, so I had to source an Italian PDF version ASAP. Annoyingly, I just searched now and immediately found a free link with no sign up. Back in 2011 I didn't find that. The only place I found it was on a forum. And of course, you had to register to access any files, so yeah, that's the story of how, in a time before I understood VPNs, I had to join a white supremacist message board to avoid failing my degree. Thumbs up.
On the NSA's list for using Linux.
Looking up nuclear weapons on eBay.
Been to China.
Nice try, FBI.
Studied history in college.
My username, maybe.
May your day be filled with joy and happiness. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more quality content every day.